It's time for the annual Mother's Day hat, but this one has been really frustrating so far. Mom, stop watching. At least wait until the hat gets to you. So, hats are a great beginner project because it's just a big rectangle, and I've made a lot of them, so I figured for this one I'll get out of my comfort zone and make something a little more interesting. So I started with this slip stitch pattern book, and if you're a channel member, this should be pretty familiar. I talked about this in my Maker Faire video last year, and also the video where I went through all of the books in my machine knitting library. These patterns are made by combining stripes with slip stitches, and stitches from one stripe are slipped across the stripe from another color to create these geometric patterns. This book has a bunch of examples and also the charts that you would use on a knitting machine. So I digitized a couple of these so I could use them with AYAB, which is open source hardware and software to retrofit these vintage machines to be controlled by computer. And it did not go well. The digitization went well, but then when I actually tried to knit these, I had a bunch of problems with the stitches just building up and getting stuck and not knitting correctly, and I had to offset the patterns a bit because with AYAB you have to start on the left, and these patterns assume you're starting on the right. And it was just like a whole thing, and I don't even have any finished swatches because it went so poorly. I kept dropping stitches and not getting the shapes that I wanted and getting just like jammed up carriages because the stitches weren't working correctly. So I made a few modifications to the patterns and my process, and I still could not get anything to work correctly. And then I looked back at this, and on the front cover they say, all of our samples were knitted in 4-ply wool as it has a great elasticity for this type of stitch. And then it occurred to me that my choice of yarn was bad for this. I was working with the standard tam acrylic that I use for pretty much everything, and it does not have much stretch in the yarn itself. It softens up after a few washes, but straight off the cone, it's pretty stiff because it has been coated, so it runs more easily through the machine. So that means it wouldn't knit well. And I have wool, but I can't use it for this project because I'm making a hat for my mom and she's allergic to wool, so I was pretty limited. So I switched gears and pulled out my bulky knitting machine because I have different kinds of yarn for that machine that are more stretchy, and they were a lot more successful. I have a couple swatches here of unmodified patterns from this book. I didn't need to make any changes to get this to work correctly. These are only 2-color because I don't have a single bed color changer for my bulky machine, and changing more than 2 colors is tricky by hand, but I got some really interesting results. So I learned the hard way that yarn choice is really important with this kind of pattern. I also learned that these slip stitch patterns are really lumpy. The yarn gets stretched and compressed in different ways, and there are also big loose sections because the rows don't connect, and it leaves you with this kind of thing. And with wool, you can do a lot of steaming and blocking and shaping a piece into the shape that you want, and then let it dry, and it'll pretty much stay that way because wool is nice and grippy and you can manipulate it. But no amount of steaming or blocking will fix this in acrylic. This is after it came out of the wash. So I abandoned this plan and started looking for another one. I went digging through my stash and also my library of machine knitting books for something more appropriate. My mom likes blues and greens, and those are pretty limited in my stash, but I did find some blue rayon that I bought for another project many years ago that I think will be good for this. And I found double bed tuck stitch patterns. And these are knit at half pitch to get the full effect of the pattern on the machine, which means that you're working with slightly lighter weight yarns than you would otherwise. So this blue rayon that I found is actually a pretty good fit for this. So I knit a swatch at half pitch on the machine with the yarn just to see how it behaves. And this is actually half cardigan, so tuck on one bed in one direction. And I learned that the yarn is actually a little too lightweight for what I want to do. So then I doubled it up. And this is knit at half pitch with 2 strands of this blue rayon, and it's really drapey. And then I moved on to the tuck stitch pattern, and this is what it looks like. The top half of this. you can't tell what's going on here. It adds a little more texture, but it's not the kind of significant stuff that I want for this project. So at this point, I was really frustrated with this project, and I'm on a deadline because Mother's Day is coming up. So I decided, let's just switch to something that I know is going to work. So this is 2 strands of the blue rayon at half pitch on my bulky machine. This is plain ribbing here, and then this is half cardigan. And that's tuck on one bed in one direction. And it gives the fabric a little more bulk, so it'll be a little bit warmer, and it makes it a little more interesting. So I'm happy with this. And this just goes to show why we swatch and we swatch and we swatch until we figure out what works, because what works in your head is not necessarily what actually works in real life. And it also shows the importance of yarn choice, which is a lot more significant than I thought it would be. And also like gauge and tension. These two are the same stitch. It's just this is 1 strand, this is 2 strands. And it creates a very different look and feel of the fabric. All right, let's make the hat. This is what we're going with. The brim is going to be the 1x1 ribbing, and then the body of the hat is going to be the cardigan stitch, and I'll show you how to make this on the machine. And then I'm going to do wormies at the top, the strands of... What are we calling that? What is that? The thing with the stuff. I-cord. Strands of I-cord at the top, because my mom likes that, and it like makes it warmer because it's like kind of like having hair on top of your hat. But that'll be a little more involved because this is at half pitch, but I'll show you how to do that when we get there. All right, let's make a hat. The ribbing for the brim of the hat is done, so now it's time to switch to half cardigan for the rest of it. And the way that we do that, we want to tuck in one direction on one bed, and generally that's on the ribber. And for this machine, it's 1 lever up and this down. I don't know what these letters mean. This is just what the manual told me to do. So you can see after the first pass of the carriage, we have picked up new loops on the bottom bed, but not knit them. And then the top bed has knit. And then with the next pass, the bottom bed knits, and we're good to go. We've reached the end of the hat, and now it's time to sort out gathering up the top of it. So because we're doing tuck stitch stuff, we've got a bunch of extra loops on the needles here. I want to knit 1 row of plain old ribbing. So let's start there. I'm going to cancel the tuck stitch. Now we're back to plain knitting, and we knit 1 more row. Okay, now we leave half pitch and go back to normal. The rest of this hat is knit on the top bed only, so I'm transferring all the stitches up, and they do wind up doubled up on these needles. Here is the hat, and yes, it looks massive and ridiculous, but I know from blocking, and this is at the same tension as this, that this yarn's gonna like compress a lot once it's washed, so this is expected. And I used thin cotton waste yarn on the bottom because I just wanted the hem to come out nice and not be weirdly stretched out by the cast on comb, so it doesn't really matter what the waste yarn is. But then I used thicker, bulky yarn on the top because I need to pick up these stitches again to make the wormies. And I also threaded through a drawstring so we can pull this tight and compress it down when we assemble the full hat. All right, on to the wormies. So it's huge, but I know this yarn shrinks down in the wash, so I'm gonna block it. And we're gonna come back. Here's the final hat, washed and blocked, and a much more reasonable size. I hope my mom likes it. I hope you learned from my mistakes about yarn choice and you take that knowledge into your own projects. I am still looking for an appropriate project and appropriate yarn for the slip stitch patterns. I think they're really cool. This wasn't quite right for it. Maybe I'll find something I can make in wool. I want to say thank you to channel members who make videos like this possible. If you'd like to become a channel member, you can click the join button down below. All channel members get early access to new videos, and channel members at the mid-tier and higher get access to members-only videos. It's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, and I talk about upcoming projects, and I do a few too many yarn unboxings, but go check that out if that's your thing. Thanks for watching. Happy knitting.